Welcome to this demo for Forms for Confluence by Kolekti. In this video, I will provide a brief introduction to Forms for Confluence and highlight its key benefits. Forms for Confluence is an add-on within Confluence that enables users to collect qualitative information and data directly within their Confluence instance. It eliminates the need for third-party applications by allowing users to store and access the captured data within Confluence. There are several key benefits to using Forms for Confluence. First, it offers a centralized homepage where you can manage all your forms and associated response data. This helps keep everything organized and easily accessible. Second, Forms for Confluence promotes collaboration within your team. You can share data and insights internally, facilitating effective communication and decision-making within your organization. Forms for Confluence also provides a wide variety of question types. From simple radio buttons to free text entries and star ratings, you have the flexibility to create forms with any type of question you need. Finally, you can embed forms on your Confluence pages securely. Since Forms for Confluence is a third-party add-on, you can manage the permissions to ensure that the captured data is securely stored. With Forms for Confluence, you can streamline your form and survey processes within Confluence, enhance collaboration, and efficiently manage your data. There are 3 current ways to create forms in Forms for Confluence. The first way is via the homepage. To access the homepage, go to the Apps menu and select Forms for Confluence. Once the homepage is loaded, navigate to the right-hand side and click on the Create New Form button. Fill in the required details for your form configuration and click Continue. This will take you to a new page including the Create Forms macro. Click the Edit button to load the form builder, where you can create and customize your form. The second way is by clicking on the Launch button that sits within your Confluence toolbar on the right-hand side of the page. This will launch the form configuration pop-up that will allow you to create a form on the page you are currently on. The third way to create a form is also done via the on-page experience. If you are on a Confluence page in edit mode, you can add a form by typing / and then Forms. Select the macro Forms for Confluence Create Form. This will open the form configuration window where you can enter your form details. Once again, the form builder will be loaded, allowing you to build out your form. Save your changes when you're finished. I will provide a short overview of the homepage for Forms for Confluence. To access the homepage, use the drop-down menu at the top and select the Forms for Confluence application. Starting at the top, you have a Help and Resources section, which you can expand for more information. Make sure to keep an eye on this, as it's regularly updated. Moving down, there is a search bar that allows you to quickly filter forms, which is particularly useful if you have lots of forms in here. Below that, you will find the main forms table, which displays all your forms from different spaces within Confluence. The forms in this table appear if you are the author or have been added as a collaborator by someone else. Clicking on a form name or response count will take you to the captured data of that particular form. The next column is the form description, followed by the response count, which tracks the number of responses. The location column is a hyperlink that takes you directly to the page where the form exists. The link below indicates the space where the form is located. The author column displays the person who created the form, and the collaborators column shows others who have access to the data from the homepage. The action button over here provides several options, including form configuration, to make changes to the form description or add collaborators. Edit form, which will take you straight through to the page in edit mode. Export, allowing you to export form response data in various formats, including CSV, XML, and JSON. And finally, the option to archive the form. Lastly, there's a Create New Form button that opens the form configuration, allowing you to create a new form. I will guide you through using our form builder. It's an intuitive and easy way to quickly build forms and have them on your page in no time. We start from the homepage, which is accessible from the top navigation menu. From here, you can create a new form. First, let's give it a name and a description. Now we can select the space and parent page under which we want to put the form, and name the page the form will be added to. If you have collaborators you want to add, you can do so at this stage. However, for this example, let's leave it blank. Now we are on the new page where we can build the form. As you can see, the form macro has been inserted into the page. Simply click on the Edit icon, and that will load up the form builder. On the right-hand side, you'll find the main form settings. The form name is already filled in, and you have the option to show or hide it, as you can see live in the preview on the left. You can also disable the border and customize the button text. We leave it as Submit for now, but feel free to change it to your preference. On the left-hand side, there's an Add Question button. Clicking on it will give you a list of question types to choose from. Let's start with a short answer question and call it Name. As you select a question type, the right-hand side will provide additional options specific to that question type. For example, you can add placeholder text, choose a character limit, and make the field required. Let's add a couple more questions. We'll add a radio button called Options and provide 3 options: Option 1, Option 2, and Option 3. Each question type has its own settings, but you'll always find them on the right-hand side. Let's add a third and final question type. Let's do a date selection. I'll label it Date. If you need to adjust the format or make any additional changes, you have the option to do so. Building out questions in the form builder is straightforward and easy. If you need to reorder the questions, you can simply click, drag and drop them into the desired order. It is possible to set up conditional fields for your form or survey by assigning rules to certain questions. This can be done by clicking the Conditional Rules button here. You can then show or hide questions based on a respondent's answer, which is a great way to create more dynamic forms that can capture more detailed insights. Once you're done adding your question types or fields, click the Save button. This will populate your input onto the Confluence page. Now just publish your page, and it'll display the form with the questions you've created. I'll walk you through a few templates and examples to give you an idea for how you can utilize forms within your instance. Let's start with the first example, which is a design decision or voting scenario. Imagine you have a Confluence page with some designs or content that you want people to review. By using the Forms for Confluence macro on that page, you can allow users to cast their vote or provide opinions on those design choices. It's a great way to gather feedback and make decisions collectively. Another example is event registration. Suppose you have an upcoming event and you create a page to describe it and invite people. By adding a form at the bottom of the page, you can capture and store data from people who are interested in attending the event. And as a final example, an onboarding checklist. In your Confluence instance, you may have an HR area where new hires are onboarded. You may have a checklist and then potentially some data that you can collect and store with Forms for Confluence. These are just 3 examples I've highlighted to illustrate how Forms for Confluence can be used. But of course, there are many more ways you can utilize forms within your organization. I'll provide you with a quick tour of how to access and analyze response data in Forms for Confluence. Let's start from the homepage. First, I want to clarify the difference between authors and collaborators. Authors are the original creators of a form, who can then add others as collaborators. On the homepage, you can see forms you have created, as well as forms created by others where you are a collaborator. Adding collaborators is simple, either during the form creation process or by adjusting form configurations for existing forms. Now let's dive into analyzing a specific form's data. By default, you are taken to the summary page, which presents a scrollable view visualizing your data with pie charts and graphs. You can hover over the charts to interact with them and filter the data. You can also filter responses based on specific answer choices and observe the visualizations and response count update accordingly. Clicking on the response count will take you to the Responses tab, displaying only responses that match the filter. On the Responses tab, you can view all your responses in a table format. You have the option to expand all the responses with a single click or view them individually. You can show or hide certain columns and reorder them as needed. Archiving responses is also possible, which moves the selected entries to the Archive tab, removing them from the summary view. That covers analyzing response data from the homepage. Now let me explain the option to mirror the response table view using a dedicated macro. If you want to give visibility to your team regarding response data without adding them all as collaborators, you can utilize this feature. On a Confluence page, use the / command and start typing forms to see the available macros. In this case, select the Responses table macro. Choose a form Select the desired users or all users to display the responses to, and click Embed Responses. Finally, publish the page to display the response table view for anyone to access and view the responses. I hope you enjoyed this demo video for Forms for Confluence. To summarize, Forms for Confluence is a really powerful form creation and data capture tool that is accessed through your Confluence instance and can be used to collect data within and outside your organization. It empowers you to make informed decisions, work collaboratively, and present key data and insights professionally to key stakeholders and wider audiences. We're always looking to improve the product, so keep an eye out for our latest product updates in your emails, on social media, or via our in-app communication posts. Forms for Confluence is now available as an add-on to Confluence through the Atlassian Marketplace. Happy form building!